As Mia and I celebrated 3 years of marriage, life felt effortless and serene. We weren't in a hurry to start a family, cherishing the liberty that defined our days. Impromptu weekend getaways, late-night film binges, and the freedom to follow our whims were our hallmark. Mia radiated vitality, her spirit perpetually bright. She was witty, clever, and just daring enough to keep things exhilarating. Yet I'd always noticed a quirk about her. When she tried to deceive, her eyes would dart away, avoiding mine. I'd spotted this trait early on, back when we were just dating. She'd grow anxious, her gaze shifting sideways, her fingers restless as if seeking an escape. Initially, it was almost charming, like having a built-in lie detector. That spring, Mia began yearning for a proper getaway. She spoke of work wearing her down, craving a reprieve. Sandy shores, tropical drinks, a complete escape. She painted the picture vividly. I wasn't keen on the idea. A major project at work tethered me, and beaches never appealed to me. I'd always preferred a cozy mountain cabin, or an urban adventure. But one night over dinner, Mia set her fork down and said with a casual air, "Maybe I'll just go alone this time." The notion of her lounging at beachside bars unsettled me. But she flashed a quick smile and added, "I'll go with Jenna. A girls' trip, spa treatments, beach yoga, nothing wild. I swear." Jenna, her best friend, was newly single and lived like every day was a party. I wasn't thrilled, but Mia's hopeful expression softened me. I trusted her, so I gave a reluctant nod. "Fine," I said. "Go unwind. Just don't end up on some chaotic reality TV show." She chuckled, tapped her glass against mine, and we moved on. At the time, I thought my agreement reflected our unshakable bond. In hindsight, it only revealed how blind trust can obscure the truth. The night before her departure, I helped her secure her flights and slipped her some extra cash for souvenirs or whatever else she might want. Her excitement was infectious, and I felt a quiet contentment. We were two people who trusted each other implicitly, no doubts lingering. Mia left on a Wednesday morning. I drove her to the airport, kissed her farewell, and told her to enjoy herself. The first few days felt routine. She sent snapshots from the shore, playful clips of her toes in the sand, and videos of Jenna tumbling while attempting to surf. Late-night texts came through. "Miss you, Jimmy. Wish you were here." I found myself missing her more than I'd expected, the house feeling vast and empty without her presence. But by day 5, her messages dwindled. No more videos, no calls. I told myself she was just caught up in the fun, or perhaps her phone lacked signal. Still, a tightness began to coil in my gut. One night, around 11 p.m., I sent a simple "good night, babe" text. It lingered on read for hours before she replied. "Night. Exhausted. Love you." The words felt unlike her, flat, devoid of the usual emojis or playful jabs. The next morning, I texted again. Silence. I called at noon, only to reach her voicemail. I tried to dismiss my unease, reasoning that Jenna might be keeping her busy or they were on some remote excursion. But that night, alone in bed, a nagging sense that something was wrong refused to fade. 2 days later, she sent a blurry photo of a bustling market with a curt message. "Been swamped. Talk soon. No miss you. No love you." I stared at my phone, a flicker of doubt igniting. That should have been a warning sign, but I convinced myself to be patient. She'd be home soon, and I'd know if I was overthinking or if something deeper was amiss. Mia returned on Sunday evening. I met her at the airport, standing by baggage claim. A mix of relief and an unnameable unease stirring within me. She looked radiant, tanned, glowing, perhaps too much so. She flung her arms around me, exclaiming, "I missed you so much." I returned the embrace, but something felt off, like holding someone familiar yet distant. On the drive home, she chattered endlessly about the trip, the beaches, the cuisine, the late-night bonfires. Jenna this, Jenna that. Her words sounded almost scripted. At home, she dropped her suitcase in the living room with a tired sigh. "I need a shower," she said, heading upstairs. I lingered by the suitcase, hands in my pockets. "Hold on," I teased lightly. "You didn't come back with nothing, did you?" She gave a quick laugh, almost too sharp, and knelt to rummage through her bag. As she shifted clothes, I glimpsed something unfamiliar. Lacy, vibrant lingerie, far from her usual style. I stayed silent, observing. Then she paused, her hand hovering over a small black bag tucked among her things. She handed it to me slowly, her smile strained. "Got you some local rum," she said. "It's supposed to be fantastic." I peeked inside, finding a bottle wrapped in a tacky souvenir t-shirt with a cartoon dolphin. "Thanks," I said, setting it aside. She laughed too loudly, pushed the suitcase away, and vanished into the bathroom. I stood there, clutching the bottle and shirt, wondering for the first time what Mia had truly been up to when her text stopped. Over the next few days, I tried to shove the unease aside. Mia acted as if everything was perfect, cooking dinner, giggling at my lame jokes, suggesting a cozy movie night like old times. But her normalcy only heightened my suspicion. Her phone was always close, its lock screen password changed. Late-night texts arrived and she'd flip the screen down quickly. One evening, while she showered, I glanced at her phone on the counter. A notification flashed, "Brady." The profile picture showed a tan guy, shirtless, with a smug grin. I didn't know him. When she emerged wrapped in a towel, I asked casually, "Who's Brady?" She stiffened briefly but forced a laugh. "Oh, just some guy Jenna and I met on the island. He ran snorkeling tours. Totally harmless." I nodded, keeping my tone light. "Harmless enough to text you at midnight." Her smile wavered. "You're overthinking it, Jimmy." "Really?" She pecked my cheek and slipped into the bedroom. I sat on the couch, staring at the ceiling, the disquiet growing heavier. The next day, while Mia was out, I found myself scrolling through the resort's Instagram. Photos of tourists, staff antics, and party videos filled the feed. Then I saw it, a clip from a beach party. Mia, laughing, dancing, a drink in hand, with Brady's arm draped over her shoulders, their faces inches apart, on the verge of a kiss. The realization hit like a tidal wave. This wasn't just a vacation. Mia had lived a different life out there. That night, after dinner, she lounged on the couch, scrolling her phone, pretending not to notice my gaze. I set my beer down firmly. "We need to talk," I said. She looked up, feigning nonchalance. "About what?" "Brady," I said, my voice flat. Her composure cracked, but she held it together. "I told you he's nobody." I cut her off. "I saw the video, Mia. On the resort's page. You were all over him." She set her phone down slowly, her face paling. "You're blowing this out of proportion," she said, her voice tight. "It was just dancing." I leaned forward, my tone icy. "You were a breath away from kissing him." Silence stretched between us. I waited for her to confess, to be honest. Instead, she said, "You're paranoid, Jimmy. You're making a mountain out of nothing." And there it was, the lie clear as day. She wasn't sorry for her actions, only for being caught. I stood. "Pack your things." She blinked, stunned. "What?" "Pack your things, Mia," I repeated. Her eyes welled up, but I didn't waver. She tried to argue, but I tuned her out. 15 minutes later, she was packing, tears streaking her face. At the door, suitcase in hand, she whispered, "It didn't mean anything." I said nothing, just shut the door and locked it. The house fell silent. I sat, staring at the door, then switched off the porch light and went to bed. The days that followed were grueling. I kept to myself, throwing myself into work, sleep, anything to stay busy. Then Jenna called, her voice hesitant. "Jimmy, Mia's struggling." "Yeah," I said, unsurprised. "Actions have consequences." She paused. "She went to a clinic. She wasn't feeling well. They ran tests." I waited, bracing myself. "She tested positive for an STD. She thought you should get tested too." The final gut punch. Even after everything, Mia had left one last wound. I thanked Jenna, hung up, and sat in silence, anger simmering but heavy, not sharp. I got tested the next day. Clean, thankfully. 2 weeks later, I filed for divorce. No arguments, no haggling over possessions. Mia didn't fight it. A friend mentioned she'd rented a small studio across town, looking worn, thinner, paler, subdued. She called it a stupid vacation fling. A mistake. But mistakes can cost everything. 6 months later, the house felt like mine again. I repainted the walls, replaced the mattress, bought new sheets, a fresh beginning. I took a trip, Not to flee but to live. The mountains, not the beach, crisp air, vast skies, no one beside me pretending all was well. I hiked by day, slept in remote cabins where my phone didn't work. On a cliff overlooking a valley, I realized I wasn't angry anymore. I was free. Mia emailed once a long, remorseful message. I deleted it after the first line. At a friend's barbecue weeks later, Jenna arrived with a new boyfriend. I pulled him aside and quietly shared what happened on that trip. Not to sabotage, but because he deserved to know what girls' trips could entail. He nodded, his face grim, and I let it go. No vengeance, no late-night rants, just me, living better than ever. Sometimes, I think how close I came to binding myself to someone like her forever. I'm grateful she revealed her truth before kids, before mortgages, before years piled up like traps. It's easier to bury memories than to bury yourself. I sleep soundly now, knowing the next time I love, it'll be with someone who can meet my gaze without flinching.